Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I decided to do a quick little mini spoiler movie review regarding Spider-Man Far From Home. I know I am like 2 weeks late regarding this. I saw the movie 3 times, so I have a... It's funny, I saw it 3 times, but I feel like since it is just like a Spider-Man movie, like his own standalone movie, there's not really much to talk about. Not like Avengers level, Endgame level to talk about where you have like a whole 2-hour discussion. So I'm going to do this very brief. Yes, there will be spoilers. So, but again, it will be a brief mini review. So basically, it's basically after the events of Endgame. It was 8 months later, and it's interesting that I like how in the very beginning they bring up the fact that, you know, what they call it, the blip of those of the loved ones that they have lost due to Thanos, that there was like a 5-year absence basically, and then they come back thanks to the Avengers. But now everything's kind of weird, and like one of the students at Peter Parker's high school, he said, yeah, my little brother is now older than me because I was gone for 5 years. So I like that they brought that up, and you can kind of get an idea like how does that affect everybody, including the students in school. Some of them had to, well actually all of them had to repeat the school year again because everything was just all jumbled up basically. So I like that they brought that up. And also at the very beginning, before, well, after you see Nick Fury and Maria Hill meet Mysterio, I like how they included Whitney Houston's most famous song, I Will Always Love You, and you see in memoriam or in memory of Tony Stark, Captain America, Black Widow, and Vision. So that was really sweet and touching. And of course, since Peter Parker was the apprentice, the pupil, the mentee of Tony Stark, there's a lot of Iron Man, Tony Stark references that he's missed by everybody, and Peter has a hard time like moving on because everywhere he looks he sees him, and he even tells that to Happy after he gets beat up by Mysterio, that everywhere I go I see his face and it haunts me. But I will say this, it was touching because, you know, the whole Tony Stark Peter Parker relationship, father and son and whatnot. Because like I said in my Endgame review with a friend of mine, Tony Stark is the Uncle Ben to Peter Parker. He's what helps him to keep going forward despite the fact that he's gone in his life. However, I would have liked to see the other Avengers, like more in memory of them, especially for Black Widow. If it wasn't for Black Widow, they wouldn't have gotten the Soul Stone. So I felt like it was a little bit of a disservice to Black Widow. Again, it was nice that they had little, what's it called, like little, like posters and candles for Tony Stark, but none for Black Widow except that she was in the PowerPoint and that was it. And since Captain America, we all know he was old and retired, but I'm guessing he probably passed away too due to old age, or people think that since there's no more Captain America that he probably died too, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, those 3 are gone. And Vision, well, we all know what happened to Vision. I'm shocked that I thought, yeah, I wish that they also put like Gamora. That would have been nice, but they probably don't really know the Guardians of the Galaxy that well. So then it was nice to also see, you know, Peter with his friends, trying to hook up with MJ. Zendaya and Tom Holland have great chemistry. I really love the, you know, the whole romance between them. Whether it's on or off screen, they have such good chemistry. And it's funny because I remember when Homecoming came out and Zendaya's character revealed her name. It's Michelle Jones, but she calls herself MJ. I remember a lot of people were upset because they said, if you're going to name her MJ, why did you get the original MJ Watson, Mary Jane Watson, and, you know, have a white girl as a redhead? Why does this sound so familiar of what's going on right now with Disney? Halle Bailey, white girl, red hair. Anyway, the whole race bending issue. Besides the point of that, of the whole race bending, Zendaya still did a wonderful job. Like I said, she and Tom Holland have such great chemistry, and when they finally kissed at the very end, it's like, thank goodness, finally you guys hooked up. The chemistry between you guys is like killing me right now. So yes, they were really cute. I like how Spider-Man also is trying to live a normal life, a normal teenage life, but due to the whole superhero business, I mean, you know, like Nick Fury said, he assigned you to be an Avenger. Prove that to me. So yeah, how does it go? With great power comes great responsibility. And obviously, teenagers, you know, it's in that point in life where you're near adulthood, but you just don't want to grow up yet. And I feel like that was Peter Parker. He just wanted to enjoy life. Like, just like for once, he's like, for once, can I just enjoy my trip with my friends and the girl I like? So he's in a bit of that, little bit of a rut right there. But it was nice to see that side because, yeah, I mean, young people, we all want to do that. We want to enjoy life as it is and not worry about responsibilities. Trust me, I know, I've been there before. So I like also how they explore that teenage side of Peter Parker. And also, it was interesting with his relationship with Mysterio. Mysterio, I think, is one of the very interesting villains to come into the whole MCU. I really like Jake Gyllenhaal's performance. You know, he starts off as a good guy, teams up with S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury and Maria Hill, and makes Peter Parker trust him, but all he wanted was to make himself be a believable superhero so he could get the glory and the credit and the fame. He wanted to be the next Iron Man, basically, and he even has a vendetta against Tony Stark after Tony Stark fired him from Stark Industries. And so, yeah, I mean, seriously, Tony Stark has bad relationships with people, whether it was the people that were on his science team in Stark Industries, or, I mean, I even remember seeing an Instagram post where you see Obadiah Stane, Mysterio, Ultron, the character from Iron Man 3 who Tony Stark left hanging on the roof and ended up being the Mandarin. I mean, seriously, all of them got dissed by Tony Stark and they ended up becoming these villainous maniac people. It's like, whoa, like, Tony Stark, you got some explaining to do and work out with these guys. So I don't know, but I really like Jake Gyllenhaal's performance. He did, like I said, he did a good job, and I loved, my favorite scene is still when he did the whole illusions, especially when he was like messing with Peter Parker's mind. That was awesome. That is like Doctor Strange level, except it's not, you know, Doctor Strange magic stuff. It's more science-based because Mysterio was using the projectors to make these illusions, but it was still pretty cool. That was awesome. That is like my favorite scene out of the whole movie, when Mysterio is messing with Peter Parker's mind. I love that scene. Like I said, I saw it 3 times, and every time I saw it, I got chills. My favorite part, especially from the illusions, was when you see multiple Mysterios marching side by side. I thought that was cool. And even when he toys with Peter's mind that maybe if he were good enough, Tony would still be alive, and you see a dead Iron Man come out of the grave and scare him. That was, again, the effects on that were amazing. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, as a standalone Spider-Man Marvel movie, it's really good. If I had to choose between this one or Homecoming, probably, at first, when I first saw it, I was thinking probably more Homecoming, but after watching it a couple more times, I'd probably say this one. I like it more. I like seeing the whole, you know, scenery and beauty of Europe. You know, he got to travel to Italy, to the Czech Republic, to London. So it was cool to see, you know, to see that on his field trip. That was another thing I liked, just seeing different countries in Europe. Very, very good idea with his classmates. Also the comedy, the humor between Ned, Peter, also him trying to fight Brad to get MJ's attention. That was really nice. The little budding romance between Ned and Betty, that was really cute. I mean, I swear, these actors are really good, so they all did a good job. The teachers were funny as well. The 2 teachers that were on the trip with the students, they were really good. I really enjoyed it, especially the teacher with the glasses when he dropped his camera in the water, or even the other teacher when he believed, he's a teacher of science, but he believed everything was because of witches. That was funny. So it was just really, really well done. What I thought was kind of, it's not funny, but I just found it kind of hilarious, was when Mysterio was explaining about the elementals. He said like they're all part of nature, like earth, water, air, and fire. I kid you not, when he said that, I was thinking of Avatar, The Last Airbender, and then the last one they had to fight was fire. I whispered to my friend over and I said, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. I just couldn't help myself. We were both laughing in the middle of the theater because it was just so many, like, The Last Airbender references, you know, the whole water, earth, fire, air thing. But yeah, such a good movie. Now, the main question is, like, the 2 end credit scenes. There are 2. The mid-credit scene, you see Peter Parker with MJ. She already knows that he's Spider-Man, so he, like, swings her around, you know, to give her like a ride, I guess you could say, across New York City, and she didn't like the ride. But then it cuts to like the big screen and in New York City, and it's the news, and it turns out Mysterio, before he died, framed Spider-Man for the destruction in London, and he even reveals Peter Parker's name, and it's like, oh no. You know, Spider-Man is known for keeping his identity a secret, but I mean, now that it's out there, what's he gonna do, kind of thing. But this is also kind of in reference to like the Civil War comic, but it's Spider-Man himself who reveals who he is, not some other person. So this is gonna be an interesting take. Oh, and then J. Jonah Jameson is back. The original actor of J. Jonah Jameson is back, and I find it so funny. Like, the original J. Jonah Jameson is now moved on from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man to Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So maybe that is proof that there is a multiverse. Well, I mean, you know, even Doctor Strange confirmed it too in his movie. But it'll be cool to see that. So you have two J. Jonah Jamesons. So maybe there is a whole Spider-Verse thing going on. But anyway, now the question is, what is Peter Parker going to do now that his identity is out there? But in all honesty, Peter has the worst kept secret. He's always telling the other Avengers who he is. Like, Tony Stark figured out who he was in Civil War. In Endgame, you see Captain Marvel coming to help him and all the other female Avengers, and he has his mask off, and he even says, "Hi, I'm Peter Parker." It's like, why are you revealing your name? And even with S.H.I.E.L.D., they know who he is too. So it's like, what's the point of keeping your identity a secret if even top organizations know who you are? There is just no point. So yeah, you can tell they're doing a whole different take on this Spider-Man. They're just letting his identity out there. Because when you really think about it, all the MCU heroes, their identities are out there. Even like Black Widow, who is a spy, everybody knows that she's Natasha Romanoff. So, right? What's the point of keeping a secret identity? So we have that, and then in the end credit scene, you see that Nick Fury and Maria Hill were actually Skrulls. It was Thanos and his wife from the Captain Marvel movie. So Nick Fury is like up there in the spaceship with the Skrulls on like vacation or something, or pretending to be on vacation. So yeah, so now that makes you wonder, are Skrulls gonna make more like appearances in other Marvel movies besides Captain Marvel? Who knows? Are they gonna pretend to be Captain America or Tony Stark or Black Widow, since those three characters are done? But are they gonna pretend to be them to make it an excuse to have those actors come back? I don't know. They might. We'll never know. But it's very interesting. So I mean, again, I told my friend when I saw Endgame, I had closure. Everything was like nice and solid. Like, it had a finish. But now watching Spider-Man Far From Home, now that you have those two end credit scenes, the mid credits and the end credits, leaving you off a cliffhanger with Peter Parker's identity revealed and the Skrulls, I don't have closure anymore. Now I have more questions. I always get more questions than answers with these Marvel movies, so I have no clue what's going on. But we'll all know in Phase 4 with the new upcoming Marvel movie, which is Black Widow, which will be released in May 2020, if I'm not mistaken, the first week of May. So that's the upcoming next Marvel movie to start Phase 4. But other than that, guys, that was my quick spoiler review of Spider-Man Far From Home. Again, it was a fine standalone Spider-Man movie, great Spider-Man movie. I mean, Tom Holland nails the role. He's really good as Spider-Man. Whether you guys are a Tobey Maguire fan or Andrew Garfield fan or Tom Holland, I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure people see them great in their own way, or maybe they're not a fan of either of them, I don't know. But I think Tom Holland does a really great job. And the fact that this particular Spider-Man gets to interact with the MCU characters, the other MCU characters, is so cool. You know, it's awesome. So I am really thankful to have this. Who would have thought we would ever get to see Spider-Man with the other Marvel characters? But yes, that was my quick mini review. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys have seen. Well, obviously, I'm hoping you've seen it. This is a spoiler review. But let me know what you guys thought about the movie. What other curiosity now, or questions that you have now regarding about the end credits scene. Now, like I said, I had closure in Endgame, but I don't have closure anymore now because of Spider-Man Far From Home. I have more questions. So let me know what you guys thought of the movie. Like and subscribe. And as always, take care, guys. Bye.